Okay, so continuing our coverage over the Ultimate Marvel Universe being led by Jonathan Hickman, we're now going to jump into the idea of Ultimate She-Hulk. And honestly, this is a very interesting way to bring the character into the world of Marvel Comics. Now, as we all know, when it came to the Maker, he basically came to this reality and began to change things behind the scenes to lead up to the moment where he was the man in charge, but he also had his own council to kind of help him make sure the world would run the way he wants the world to run. And one of those people is actually the Hulk. Now, when it came to the Hulk, we did learn a tad bit about his actual origin in earlier books of the Ultimate Marvel Universe, but he's not really the main focus of today's video. That will be Ultimate She-Hulk. And so as we dive into the opening pages of today's video, we pick up with the actual birth of the Ultimate Hulk in this reality. Now, we do see that when a bomb went off, it gave birth to the Ultimate Hulk. But when that bomb went off, well, there was a nearby island, and that nearby island was truly affected by the bomb. The entire island was blanketed by radiation that came from the gamma bomb. And so with that kind of radiation just flowing through the air like snow particles, you have people, plants, animals, all being affected in different kinds of ways. But at the very last page of this section in the past, we see a young girl who's just being covered in radiation. And of course, it begins the process of changing her into the She-Hulk. But now we have to jump over to the present day. Now, when we jump over to the present day, we actually pick up with, well, Iron Lad, Thor, and also Sif. Now remember, for Iron Lad, his main goal currently with the Ultimates is to go around to find different heroes to bring into their cause. Because remember, this world was affected by the Maker, Reed Richards from the original Ultimate Marvel Universe, who's currently locked away in his city. But in 18 months, and really by this point, in 15 months, the man is going to be back. And if he does come back, it could be the end for Iron Lad and all his allies at this moment. And so for Tony, he's just trying his best to go around and recruit different heroes. And so now his next goal is to get She-Hulk or somebody on the island who could actually help out. Now with Iron Lad for Tony Stark, his father was Iron Man in this reality. He loves to sit down and examine what exactly happened to this island, because like I said earlier, this entire island was blanketed with radiation. The animals, the people, the plants, they were all affected in different kinds of ways. And for Tony, he wanted to sit down and study the different creatures, different plants, different animals. But for Tony and Sif, they're kind of like, nah, that is a dangerous animal or a dangerous crab. We got to go ahead and get rid of it right now before it possibly kills us. Now, while you had the three characters being able to talk to one another, now, at first, we have been seeing just the creatures, the animals, the plants of this island. But what happened to the actual people who were affected by the radiation? And so we did see our heroes being confronted by somebody who was truly affected by the actual radiation. And so at first, I believed that this was actually, well, Abomination of the Ultimate Marvel Universe, but it's not. It's just somebody else who was, well, technically turned into the Hulk, thanks to the actual gamma radiation. Now, with all that being said, you didn't have Thor and also Sif and Iron Lad being able to work together to try their best to stop the creature. Now, at first, our heroes, they're struggling because technically this is a Hulk, someone who's trying to just beat down on them. But luckily for our heroes, somebody else is able to step in to help our heroes get out of this battle. And this is where we get our introduction of Ultimate She-Hulk. Now, at first, I thought it would be like Jennifer Walters or possibly Betty Ross, who would take up the role of Ultimate She-Hulk. But no, it's a character known as LaJory Joanna Zakaria. Now, she is the protector of this island, and we do learn that she knows a lot about the other Hulk our heroes were fighting against. We do learn that it's technically a baby. Let me explain. So when it came to this island, like I said earlier, the people, the animals, the creatures, the plants, they all were affected by the radiation thanks to the bomb. But also some of the women were actually pregnant when the bombs went off. And of course, it affected their children as well. And so this other Hulk that our heroes are fighting against is actually a baby that was just born recently. And of course, when it got angry enough, it hulked out. But thankfully, She-Hulk arrived to sing to the Hulk, to turn it back into a small child again. Now, we do learn a tad bit about this actual island, where apparently Bruce Banner and other scientists came here and offered the people the chance to have a better life on their island. And what I mean by that is, apparently, they said if you allow us to test our bombs on your island that should not affect you in any kind of way, we'll go out of our way and begin to build homes, schools, and other great things that can help out your society. Now, apparently, you have She-Hulk tell us that they declined the offer that Bruce Banner and the other scientists were trying to offer because they didn't trust them. They're kind of like, there's no way that you're going to use your bombs on our island that's not going to affect us and then possibly give us a better life on our island. There's no way that you actually will do that for us. And so they denied that actual offer. But Bruce and those scientists who were part of the U.S. Army, they didn't care. They went ahead and used the bombs anyway. And as we see, well, the entire island was completely affected. Now, for Tony Stark, he believes that this is a great thing. And the reason why, because he believes that this entire island must be full of people who are just Hulks, ready to help out the Ultimates to fight against the Maker and the Maker's Council. But you have She-Hulk say, well, technically, yes, you're right. This island had a full of people that were affected by the gamma radiation. But the problem is, most of those people had died thanks to the radiation. And the ones who did survive, no, they did not turn to Hulks. And now Tony might have an army of Hulks to use. Only a couple of them had turned to Hulks, the baby, and of course, She-Hulk. But the rest of the people who did survive, unfortunately, their body had altered in so many different kinds of ways that now those people are living a life that's just such a cruel way to technically live. And so once you have Tony, Thor, and Sif realize that this island only produced one Hulk who could possibly help them, his next goal is to bring She-Hulk in. Now, She-Hulk knows who they are because one, they have a TV, but two, because they're well-known terrorists across the world. She knows about the Ultimates, but at the same time, she also knows what their goal is at the moment, to get payback against the Maker and also the Maker's Council. Now, with all that being said, you have Tony say, why not join us to get payback against the people who had did you harm? But she says, listen, my people and I, we have sworn to stay here and protect the land no matter what. But the problem is, the land is killing them because the radiation had affected the water, the food on the island so bad they can't drink or eat anything from the island at all. And so, yes, they did swear to protect the land, but the land is killing them off. And so you have She-Hulk say, listen, I will help you out, but I do have one request. And that one request is that I need you to fix what happened to my island, meaning that find a way to turn everything and everyone back to normal, or at least just turn the island back to normal. Now for Tony, that is one heck of a request, but at the same time, he has no choice here. He needs She-Hulk on his side to help him fight against the Maker and the Maker's Council, because the Maker is coming in 15 months. That battle is going to be pretty epic. Now, at the very end of the last page, we see Hulk, and Hulk was watching the island, keeping an eye on all the different people that he had affected with his gamma bomb. But now he sees She-Hulk joining the side of the Ultimates. And so for him, that is not okay at all. And so he says, you know what? It's time to bring in the immortal weapons. And this is where we are going to end today's comic book video. So please leave me a like down below and subscribe. Also, if you have any suggestions on books I should read, well, please let me know in the comments below, because you never know, your suggestion could be a future video down the road. But guys, see y'all next time. Later.